so that's why this doesn't really do much to me. But it feels good. You know what? I just went on a walk and I could feel the cold air and it felt really refreshing, to be honest.
It's a change. It's freeing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for jumping on with us, Angel. I appreciate you coming on a short notice like this. We thought we would try a mini podcast via Zoom, given our environment these days. And so you're our first.
Hey, she was our very first original podcast.
She's always our first.
You're always our first
Zoom podcast.
Our pioneer, our trailblazer.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys invited me because I just got my own Zoom and I'll be doing that this coming week. I'm scheduling in some ladies because, you know, well, now I have extra time on my hands. So it's like trying to fill that in and really, you know, over the next couple of months, while this is all going on, trying to build the pro firm and see where that goes.
Right.
We'll see.
That's awesome.
You know, there's right before and one of the things that I loved is right before we jumped in that it was just you and I. What was your advice that you gave everybody about Zoom?
Oh, make sure that there's always a wall behind you because you cannot see. I mean, we like to say moms have eyes behind their head, but I'm telling you, I have been on so many Zoom meetings where things are going on back there and you're like, oh my God. And then people record them now, right? And so you see them on YouTube and you see, you know, I was just telling Mijo that there was this lady's having a huge business meeting. I mean, all her corporate, and her husband comes down the stairs in underwear. And when he realizes that she's having this business meeting, he's trying to get out of the way. He bounces off a wall. He's just like, you know, and she looks like she wants to cry. You know, she's just like, I can't believe this. I'm so sorry. So wall behind you at all times.
Word to the wise, because there's a whole new like protocol and etiquette that we all have to adapt to here in the Zoom land, right?
Yeah.
So last time I physically saw you, we were on a beautiful boat out in the Newport Harbor for that gala event. And that seems like a million years ago now, but really it was only 5-6 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I guess I just wanted to check in with you, see what the pro firm and Karma Blessings are up to now, given sort of the shift of the landscape and stuff, and how can people like still engage with that movement that you've got going?
So with Karma Blessings as a nonprofit, that's a little bit harder because, you know, at this time we see huge furloughs, we see layoffs, we see a decrease in companies actually getting any profit, right? So with Karma Blessings, I just keep putting it out there and letting people know that, hey, even if you can afford $5, if you're receiving, you know, a paycheck $5 at a time, that helps the kids. Because when this is all said and done, what's going to happen is all of these parents who have you know, had layoffs and furloughs or unfortunately lost their jobs, it's going to be much more difficult for them to get the kids school clothes and school supplies and things like that. So, you know, every dollar helps. And that's really the motto for the nonprofit is, you know, a dollar at a time. And whatever comes through at this time, you know, I'll be taking a look at purchasing wholesale for the kids so that when they're ready to go back to school, they have the necessities that they need to be successful.
And one of the things too that happens with the Karma Blessings is, you know, a lot of the parents, you know, these are already kind of low income families, and chances are, you know, they most of them have, you know, restaurant jobs probably, and many of these kind of jobs are being furloughed or laid off. So
right,
if anything, the role of the nonprofit now is going to be that much more important because those people might be without work right now. The parents of those children that, you know, you help out with through Karma Blessings.
Another thing is, I cannot believe most of them are working on jobs that are essential jobs. So, I mean, I'm lucky that I'm able to work from home, take care of my kids. My wife's the same thing. I can't imagine working a factory job, for example, or any of those type of jobs and trying to figure out how I'm going to feed my kids, how I'm going to get babysitter, how through all these things that are going on right now. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine, to be honest. It's just incredible. And a lot of single parents as well that are doing this.
Well, and that's true. And so what we see is say you are a single parent who has an essential job, and therefore you may have job opportunities. But if you have children at home who are, young age and can't take care of themselves, then you really don't have an option to go to work because there's nobody there to take care of your kids, where previously you may have worked days when they were in school.
Yep. Exactly.
So that's a big thing. I also like to focus on a lot of the teenagers, because we have some teenagers who are in the foster programs, or teenagers who are assisting parents to take care of their siblings, or working part-time jobs, and they're no longer working part-time jobs to have some income to help the family. So what I've been doing is starting, I think it was 2 weeks ago, what I've been doing is, if you go to Carmen Blessing's Instagram, and I'm offering it to the Colton Joint Unified School District high schoolers, because that is a location where they are a little bit in the lower income bracket. And I want to be able to help them. So last week I gave away $70 worth of grocery gift cards. And so we just did a raffle. We had some kids go online and tag us, and then give us a memory for a teacher who they feel made an impact on their lives. And we got a few kids to do that. And then 2 winners, they received $30 Stater Brother gift cards and a $5 Starbucks gift card. And I think that being able to continue to help in that way, they're able to go to the grocery store, purchase some goodies, or, even essentials, toilet paper, water, whatever it is that they need while they're not in school. And then this week we'll be doing some Easter baskets. Next week will be a $25 Barnes & Noble gift card. Especially since they're doing homeschool, right? So what we see is, in the Colton Joint Unified School District, they are out of school until August. But over the next 6 weeks, they'll be having homeschool. And keep them busy. Some of them are avid readers, so having a Barnes & Noble gift card, might be able to buy a game, something like that, online books. And then the week after that will be Pizza Hut. So even though we are unable to do our large events with the kids, which I always love, because I love to see the kids come in and be able to, feed them a meal, give them some education, give them some new clothes. Right now, we're not able to do that, but I still want to be able to reach out to these kids, let them know that even though they don't know us, we care. We want to help them through a time that may be very difficult. I can't imagine, honestly, being a child who has to do online schoolwork, which they've never done.
Yeah.
May not even have a computer. So the schools are trying to give them their little iPads, right? But what happens if they don't have internet at home? Or they're in a location where the internet is spotty? I mean, or you have one computer and spotty internet and 4 kids who all have to do homework. I mean, those are things that I don't think most people recognize that these kids are going through, and that's stressful. So, if we can give them a $25 Pizza Hut gift card just to make their day, that's good for me.
That's a great point. It's almost like in this day and age, in 2020, access to the internet should be like a basic human right almost, you know what I mean? Hate to put it in those kind of terms, but you're absolutely right. These kids are stuck in in their household where there's different varying levels of the technology or access to that technology right now. So I love the $1 at a time mantra. Also, I think it's great for people to realize that this is not forever, that this lockdown has a finite amount of time. And then, then our lives can get back to a new normal, but more social interaction and stuff. And so we can't just forget about these important causes like Carmen Blessing.
I also feel like like people that like to help out, like us. I think everybody right now, all of us here, we love to try to give back as much as we can whenever we can. And so in a time where so many things per se have been taken away from us, like, you cannot go visit family, you cannot go do your normal job how you normally do it, you cannot go to even church, churches are closed. It's important to claim back some of those normalcies of life. Every little thing that you can hold on to, in a sense, help you keep you sane and carry on life, within these limitations. And so if one of them is giving back, even if it's $5 at a time, then, I think that's important to do.
Excellent.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think so. A quick question for you, Angel. So in your organization, you also do like donating clothes, right? So a lot of us have a lot of time right now at home. We're working from home. We're trying to stay busy. How about cleaning out our closets and doing a big donation like that? Are you accepting that still? Or, I mean, obviously after the this period where we, social distancing, but maybe we make a few bags ready for you, kind of deal.
Yeah, I think that is actually a beautiful thing, because a lot of people are doing their spring cleaning, right? Because they're like, there's nothing else for me to do, so I'm doing my spring cleaning. And so, yes, I do urge people to start putting those things in bags, getting them ready. Whether it's 8 weeks down the line or 12 weeks down the line, there's going to be a point where schools are going to be reopened and we can get together, and I would love to have those donations. We do still have the clothing closet, and the school is closed right now, but when it reopens, again, those kids who are coming from families who normally have it a little bit more difficult than some, during this time, it's going to be much more difficult. So when they return back to school, we can't forget that they're also in growth spurts, right? So you have a high schooler who, in March might be 5'2", and in August when they go back to school might be 5'5", and so all of those clothes that we fill those school clothing closet with are going to be needed in August. So yeah, and I work very closely with another nonprofit that focuses on the young kids. I also have adopted Zimmerman Elementary School, as well as Ruth O. Harris Middle School. So what we have is any clothing from newborn through adult, I can find a place for it to go, because these schools are going to be opening new clothing closets.
Hey, Angel, when you were saying 5'5", why were you looking at Ricky's screen?
Well,
She gets it. She gets it.
I'm going into a growth spurt this
Rick's still waiting for
yeah.
his growth spurt.
Yeah.
The
doctor told his mom that he was going to grow until he's 52.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Angel, I know we only got a limited amount of time with you today. So before we transition to talk about the pro firm a little bit, people can reach you through Karma Blessings at Karma, N, the letter N, blessings.org, right?
Correct. Okay. And then there's the Instagram, there's a LinkedIn page. And you really, if you Google it, KARMAN, blessings.org, you should be able to find multiple ways to get contact with me.
Okay, cool. So with the pro firm, that's kind of a separate thing. I mean, it's a different focus. That kind of seems like something you could be continuing on right now, sort of the education and the inspiration pieces that you've got going on with that. So talk a little bit about what the pro firm is up to right now.
So, it is changing the dynamics. Again, the pro firm is something that we're used to being in person, where we have 40 to 100 ladies. So transitioning into the electronic portion of it, I've just purchased Zoom so that we can do some events. This Friday, the ladies are going to be joining me for a sing-along and a dance party, which is fun.
That's awesome.
Because I thought, okay, well, let's do some karaoke. And what we're doing is we have 10 open slots for female performers, and those performers are going to get a $25 Grubhub gift card that will be emailed to them so that they can use. So, and then the rest of us who may not have been blessed with a voice will sing along with them, so I'll be sharing my screen, and we'll have a fun little dance party for an hour and a half. I'm also going to be continuing education. That's something that this week I've really been sitting to plan out. I continue a blog, so hopefully those blog posts will be coming every week on the website as well as LinkedIn. In addition, I'm reaching out to a lot of our small female companies who may not be able to do any work right now due to the social distancing, because unfortunately some of the services need to be in person, right? So, you know, for court reporting, I think that we're blessed that we can go online and do Zoom court reporting, right?
Mhm.
But some of the services have to be in person. So what's happening is they've completely shut down, and I want to be able to help those women keep their businesses in the limelight. So when we return back to semi-normal and people are going back to having personal meetings, I want them to be remembered throughout this time, because what's happening is some people don't recognize that the next 3, 4 months, 6 months could actually determine whether or not a small business is going to have to shut down, or they'll be able to stay afloat until this pandemic is over. So how do I help these women stay in the mind's eye, right? How do I help them at least be remembered throughout this time, which is going to be a couple of weeks, if not months? And so that for me is writing blogs on them, posting them on my website, meeting with them via Zoom to at least give them some inspiration or help them network, whatever it is that I can do to assist them. The other thing is I've been talking to a lot of women, and what we have is we have some women who maybe don't have any family and they're at home alone. And so we can imagine how crazy this can be, and we have people at home with us, right? So at least we can come up to a room and close the door and have some alone time, or we can go downstairs and know that we have kids, spouses, whatever downstairs waiting for us. But imagine being solo. You know, you're in your home, you're alone. You may not even have a huge network of people where you can get online like this and have this discussion. So it's important for me to reach out to them as well and keep them motivated. We want to avoid women having maybe a depression or closing down or not having the network that they need for emotional support, for psychological support, for business support, so that they continue to grow during this time. And so it's very important for me to remind them that even though we're at a time that is unprecedented, we've never been in this time, at least in our lifetime, right? We can utilize this time to continue to network. I can introduce one woman to another that maybe they can get together and work together or co-market later. And just reminding them that they're not alone. There is a group of sisters, or I like to call a sisterhood out here, who they can reach out to keep themselves, 1, emotionally balanced, 2, sane, 3, get a couple of laughs. So there's a lot that's going to be going on with the Pro Firm. This week, it's really me taking time to set up all these Zoom meetings, from I'm thinking movie night to our sing-along.
Mm-hmm. That's really awesome. Let's really get the word out on that this week. You have that karaoke plan for this Friday, April 10th.
Yeah.
Because you're right. People need this time to continue to better themselves. And this is a great time, a great opportunity to still grow, to do it, to do this via the networking via.
Yeah, networking is very important. You're right.
Via the technology, so you can stay sane, you can stay safe, sane, emotionally balanced and connected, and also have some laughs.
We're actually, Todd and I were discussing the other day about having a happy hour. So we're gonna have a happy hour, invite you of course, and a lot of everybody, pretty much everybody, all the vendors.
Well, you know, I've had a lot of emails and I've even had some comments on LinkedIn where we've had some gentlemen say, hey, we want to dance and sing. And so I have put it out there. I don't know, maybe if you guys are interested, we can co-host something. So I was thinking at the end of April, we can co-host a karaoke sing-along. Okay. And, you know,
have you ever heard Rick sing?
I have not.
Yeah, oh no, we might lose all of our business with that.
Actually, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, actually, Rick's a good singer. I'm the bad singer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan's the only person in the history that I ever met that at church they asked him to stop singing.
And clapping.
Wow. Yeah. So that came about, and it's crazy though. I didn't, you know, for me, I just really focus on how do I help these women I'm working with. And I've had these gentlemen come out and they're emailing and they're like, hey, we want to do this too. So if you're interested, we can maybe put something together for the end of April. And we do an hour-and-a-half karaoke sing-along. And what it is, or what I've done with the one for Friday is I've opened up on Eventbrite. So there's only 10 tickets for performers, and then there's 30 tickets for general admission, right? For them just to join. And what happens is once those performers sign up, I email them and say, let me know what song you're going to be singing. I'm creating a YouTube playlist that has those songs for those performers. Awesome. And then a couple of, you know, songs for all of us to do this sing along. And then what I'll do is once we get in here and we get into the Zoom meeting, I'll have a list of performers, their songs will come up, and as you can see, we can all see each other so they can see them perform. And we'll go along like that. And then at the end, have a couple of songs where, you know, you just grab your beverage of choice, whether it be coffee, a Coke, or a glass of wine, and have a little bit of, you know, one or two dance songs, and then we end the day.
Awesome.
All right, I already nominate Todd.
You can nominate me?
Well, because you sing, you know, I don't know if Angel, if you know this, but my wedding song, the song that Natalie was walking down the aisle, was actually a song that Todd wrote and sang.
Oh, beautiful.
In my former life.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It's called Made.
If only I had been invited, John.
Yeah. Well, Johnny thought that if he used the song, he was going to get a bonus, but he didn't.
Well, Angel, how can people contact you for that? Is that theprofirm.com? Is that the best way to get
and my email there is angel@theprofirm.com.
Perfect.
And then if you go to Eventbrite and you search the Pro Firm, my items or my events should populate.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Well, Angel Guerra-Chagolla, thank you so much for jumping on real fast here and talking about all the stuff that's going on.
It's good to see your face.
It's great to see
yours as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming on the new and improved Zoom TOA Storytellers podcast edition. So,
thank you, Angel. We appreciate you.
Let's do this again soon.
Okay. See you.
See you in happy hour.
Bye-bye.
Bye.